Hello and welcome to Brandy's Poetry Corner, with apologies for the hiatus. I don't have the energy to do a lot of creative things at the same time, it turns out. But I am back today. The poem I wanted to read something of, and I got very wound up about whether I should. But when I was a little girl, say about 4 or 5, my two favourite programmes on the TV, this is the early 1950s, were The Range Rider and The Lone Ranger, and I wanted to be a cowboy. I was terrified of what I would call Red Indians, because they were always pictured, apart from Tonto, in The Lone Ranger, as being, violent and savage and would scalp you as soon as look at you. That is not what I believe now, and I think one of the things that changed my mind, apart from Tonto, was this. Not the whole thing. I don't think I ever realised how long the Song of Hiawatha was until I bought this copy of it. But it pictured this Native American First Nations hero as a hero. Longfellow wanted to write something like the Eddas, the Icelandic Eddas, which I think he did quite well. He tinkered. He did take stories from actual First Nations people, but he changed the names, so he thought Hiawatha was a nicer name than the hero of most of these stories, whereas Hiawatha was actually a real person, but somebody else. But I think at the time he was castigated by some people for preserving the stories of what other people called savages. And let's face it, I'm sure I'm not the only person who still in my heart imagines that Native American dancing is always done to this rhythm, the rhythm of Hiawatha, which he stuck to so assiduously throughout the whole piece. So I am going to read you a bit of Hiawatha. In the next time and the time after that, I'm actually going to read you a poem by First Nation people, but this is actually a bit of Hiawatha by Henry Wadsworth Longfellow, starting from the bit I learnt at school. And it starts with Hiawatha being brought up by his grandmother. By the shores of Gitche Gumee, by the shining big sea water, stood the wigwam of Nokomis, daughter of the moon, Nokomis. Dark behind it rose the forest, rose the black and gloomy pine trees, rose the firs with cones upon them, bright before it beat the water, beat the clear and sunny water, beat the shining big sea water. There the wrinkled old Nokomis nursed the little Hiawatha, rocked him in his linden cradle, bedded soft in moss and rushes, safely bound with reindeer sinews, stilled his fretful wail by saying, "Hush, the naked bear will hear thee," lulled him into slumber, singing, "Ewa yea, my little owlet, who is this that lights the wigwam, with his great eyes lights the wigwam? Ewa yea, my little owlet." Many things Nokomis taught him of the stars that shine in heaven, showed him Ishkudar the comet, Ishkudar with fiery tresses, showed the death dance of the spirits, warriors with their plumes and war clubs, flaring far away to northward in the frosty nights of winter, showed the broad white road in heaven, pathway of the ghosts, the shadows, running straight across the heavens, crowded with the ghosts, the shadows. At the door on summer evening sat the little Hiawatha, heard the whispering of the pine trees, heard the lapping of the waters, sounds of music, words of wonder. "Minnewawa," said the pine trees. "Mudwe Aushka," said the water. Saw the firefly, Wawa Tesi, flitting through the dusk of evening, with the twinkle of its candle lighting up the brakes and bushes. And he sang the song of children, sang the song Nokomis taught him. Wawa Tesi, little firefly, little flitting white fire insect, little dancing white fire creature, light me with your little candle. ere upon my bed I lay me, ere in sleep I close my eyelids. Saw the moon rise from the water, rippling, rounding from the water. Saw the flecks and shadows on it, whispered, "What is that, Nokomis?" And the good Nokomis answered, "Once a warrior, very angry, seized his grandmother and threw her up into the sky at midnight. Right against the moon he threw her. 'Tis her body that you see there." Saw the rainbow in the heaven, in the eastern sky the rainbow, whispered, "What is that, Nokomis?" And the good Nokomis answered, "'Tis the heaven of flowers you see there, all the wild flowers of the forest, all the lilies of the prairie. When on earth they fade and perish, blossom in that heaven above us." When he heard the owls at midnight hooting, laughing in the forest, "What is that?" he cried in terror. "What is that?" he said, "Nokomis?" And the good Nokomis answered, "That is but the owl and owlet, talking in their native language, talking, scolding at each other." Then the little Hiawatha learned of every bird its language, learned their names and all their secrets, how they built their nests in summer, where they hid themselves in winter, talked with them whene'er he met them, called them Hiawatha's chickens. Of all beasts he learned the language, learned their names and all their secrets, how the beavers built their lodges, where the squirrels hid their acorns, how the reindeer ran so swiftly, why the rabbit was so timid, talked with them whene'er he met them, called them Hiawatha's brothers. I feel as I could go on and on and on, but that will do. Something of what Hiawatha learned to make him the hero he was to become. For more poems read by me, look up Brandy Pearson on YouTube. Thank you.